this is Michelle, and this video is to show you what you need to do to submit an assignment when an assignment is due in Angel. I'm going to pretend for right now that I am ready to submit this assignment called Discipline and Management, Different Yet Related. Now, it told me what the assignment was here. Notice that the title is here, and then all of these things below are things telling you about the assignment. So notice that it says you have to compare and contrast discipline and management, behavior and misbehavior. You have to define each word, create a short word picture that describes each, and then ask how are they similar, how are they different, how are they related to each other. It has to be 250 to 500 word essay addressing these components. And when I do the word count, I usually will give a 10% grace period. So if it were 25 less, 225, or if it were 50 more, 550, then I would count it as okay as long as it was in that 10%. It does tell you have to use APA format. You have to have an introduction, a conclusion, and a title page. You don't have to have an abstract, but you do have to have in-text citations and a reference section. And you have to submit by the end of Module 1. Make sure that you read everything when you read the assignment. Don't just read the title and try to figure out what you need to turn in from there. But anyway, I'm going to pretend I have a test file, just a dummy file of a few sentences that I'm going to pretend is my assignment to turn in there. The first thing I need to do is I need to go to Turnitin, and I need to log in there with my student account and submit this file to Turnitin. I need to go to that class, EDU 520NH, which began on June the 28th, and under there is a place to submit a file for Module 1 Discipline and Management. So I'm going to submit that file. I'm going to do it by uploading the file. Here's my name. The title is Discipline and Management. And I'm going to browse for the file, and mine is not really Discipline and Management, it's just one that I did. Mine is just called a Turnitin test file, so I'm going to double click on that, and I'm going to say submit. And it says step 2 of 2. I have to actually look at it and say yes, this is, of course mine's a little short, but I have to say yes, this is what I meant to submit, so yes, submit it. And it will show me that I've submitted it, and here's a copy of the receipt, but this is not what I want to see. What I actually want to see is I want to go to my portfolio. And when I first return to the portfolio, I'll see that in this area right here, it's grayed out. I'll have to keep hitting refresh, which you can hit F5 for refresh. But if I keep hitting refresh in a few minutes, or you can just do this and come back later. You can matter of fact, you could do it one day and come back the next if you're doing this early enough. But I'm just going to click refresh and wait until it actually refreshes. And one time when it refreshes, it will actually change this. And I'm going to pause the video until it is time for it to refresh. This time when I refresh the page, you can see that it is different. For me, it's telling me I have a 0%, and that is great. If you have a real file in here, you will probably never have 0%, but you want it to be 15% or less. This tells you how much of your material is quoted. If it's more than 15%, then you have too much quoted material. You need to check. The first thing you need to do is make sure that everything that you have quoted has a reference. If it doesn't have a reference, then don't turn it in. Then the next thing you need to do is, even if it has a reference, it shouldn't just be a string of quoted material. It should be maybe a little bit of quoted, but mostly your own summary, which still needs a reference, your own summary of what was said, and then your own ideas that build from what was said in the reading. But I'm going to click on the little blue square now, and it may be a different color depending on what your score was. But when I click on the blue square, it'll open up a report that shows me where I may have problems. It's going to show me where it found matches for the words that were in my paper. Since it was taking a little while, I paused it, but now it shows me where I have matches, and it says there are no matching sources for this report. If it had found another web page or somebody else's paper that had this exact paragraph, it would have it over here, and I would know that, hey, I have a problem. What I need you to do in your paper, you need to exclude the bibliography. That's going to change the score on yours. If you had 17%, when you exclude the bibliography, you're going to have less than 15 probably. But exclude the bibliography. Don't exclude the quoted. because like I said, it should not be just a string of quoted material, first of all. Then go over here to where if you mouse over this, it says download. Click download, and it's going to download a copy of this report to your computer. And just click save, and save it somewhere that you know where it is. I have a file where I've been saving videos, is where I'm going to save it. And it says Turnitin Originality Report. I might want to add discipline so that I know which assignment it goes with, and I'm just going to save it there. Okay, I'm finished with the Turnitin. Since my score was 0%, it was less than 15, I'm finished with Turnitin. That's good. But there's somewhere else I also need to go to. I need to go find the rubric for this. So I'm going to go to course content. I'm going to go to documents from the instructor, grading rubrics, and remember this was class EDU 520H, so I'm going to click on classes, and then I'm going to click on EDU 520NH, and in module 1 you see the rubric for discipline and management, different yet related. When I click on that, it's going to open up that rubric in Google Docs. You also need to download this rubric, so you're going to say file and export. You're going to export it to an XLS because that is Excel, Microsoft Excel. Export it to XLS, so then you're going to click save, and I'm going to save it in that same file, and it says different yet related rubric. And then I'm going to click close. Now I can go ahead and close this up. I'm going to go back into the classroom. This is the EDU 520NH classroom, and I need to click on course content, and to get to the place to submit this assignment, I need to click module 1, and I need to actually click the assignment, and it's going to give me a place to submit it. I can say the discipline assignment. You can type a message here. You really don't have to type a message there. There's no reason to, because I'll know what it is. I click the attachments button, and I'm going to attach 3 things. I'm going to browse, and first of all I'm going to attach the actual assignment, which I called Turnitin test file. So here's the actual assignment. Number 2, I'm going to attach the Turnitin report, which I saved in the folder where I've been saving my videos, and it was called the Turnitin Originality Report. And I forgot to say that the first time. After you click browse and you find it, you click upload the file, and you watch for it to come down here. So I've got 2 things. I've got the actual assignment, and I've got the Turnitin report. And then I also want to click browse again, and I need to find the discipline. This was it, different yet related rubric. So I need to double click here, click upload file, and I have all 3 pieces that I need. I have the actual assignment, I have the Turnitin report, and I have the rubric. All 3 things have to be on there, and then I can click finished, and then I click submit, and it says your submission has been received successfully, so I say okay. Notice that now if I scroll down, the file is down here. I could actually click on it and go in and look and see what I submitted. I can't change anything. If you want to change anything, you actually have to resubmit the whole thing just like you did. But just remember, if you resubmit, I only grade the last submission. So, and if you resubmit after the deadline, then I will grade the last one but count it as a late. So be careful when you send it in the first time. And that's all there is to submission. There will be a later video on how to find your grades.